The script came to me and it coincided with me wanting to start surfing again, actually. I had gone down for a couple of lessons with a buddy of mine who's a stuntman and a great surfer in Manhattan Beach. And then suddenly the script appeared and I read one. To me, it really answered the question, what is the soul of surfing? What is the soul of a surfer, you know, and the psyche and what they go through. And I felt like it was totally palpable when I read this script, is what does it take to be a big wave rider, you know, and what is that connection that man, or especially a surfer, has with the water, you know. And it's not something that I can say that I have or I had the skill, but I could imagine, you know, for me as an actor, it felt like a great place to be able to go or pretend to be or try and understand, you know. He's a Santa Cruz local, you know. I mean, he wears his big boots and his heavy clothes, and he's a laborer, but he's a poet, you know, and he loves to read, and he's a really kind of unusual individual, you know, and he's been an incredible surfer. He's lived that his whole life. He's found that very hard to get rid of. And the boy that exists in those surfers, you know, the child, that adventure, that kind of taste for danger has never really left him. And you know, and he has his own demons himself, which has made it, one, hard for him to become the family man that he so wanted to be, you know, to become a father to his children and to become a good husband. And in that respect, that's where Jay comes into play, because he really helped kind of bring out the father in himself. Mavericks is the story of basically a boy who at 15 tried to, or did take on, one of the biggest waves in the world, the biggest, darkest, coldest, most powerful waves in the world. And I play Frosty Hessen, the guy who coached him and became like a father to him. I mean, we really pushed the limits, considering I'm not a surfer. You know, I learned for this movie, but you know, you go on to normal waves or small waves and normal waves, and then after a few years, maybe you graduate to bigger waves. And even after that, I was talking to somebody last night and he said, you know, they used to go, have you surfed Malibu? But nowadays, even if they're in Hawaii or Ohio or something, and they say, have you surfed Mavericks? Because it's the one to surf. And I quickly learned that the best way for me to get in there would be to get towed in. And I practiced some tow-in surfing. And I really got it down. And I knew if I can just hold on and get on a couple of these big waves, that's unforgettable. The mental prep to me comes from going out there and doing it, you know? It's just working on the endurance. We also had to do a lot of paddle boarding, and when you get down on your knees on those boards and you start scooping out the water, when you first do that after 50 yards, your back's killing you, you know? It's just not a natural position. But by the end, we were doing that for miles, and we were doing it, you know, out in the open water, and then just paddling a lot on surfboards and just surfing, or just being out in the water, you know. And when you just start, it's a big change in your life, you know. You're working shoulder muscles and joints that you're not used to. The thing that I get from the mental preparation in any role pretty much comes from my training. I use the training to build stamina, whatever it is, to build confidence, to build determination, to work at courage, you know. Being caught out in big waves, once you get a little more control of that, then you start to go, okay, I can get through this. So the next time you're hit by some, unless it was that one experience, then you go, okay, I know how to get out of this now, or I know that I'll be all right if I can just wait it out.